Life isn't only black and white. Somewhere in the grey lies the truth, where perspectives collide and stories connect. Welcome to the Black, White and Grey podcast. Let's have a conversation. Today we've got Barney Davies. He's going to lead us through his concussion journey, actually. He's going to tell us all about concussion. I would say, through his lived experience, I'd call him an expert.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I would say so.
It's very flattering.
You got to live it.
Yeah.
You got to live it. I mean, you could be an expert from the scientific angle, you could live it and talk through it. And I think there's 2 points of view. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Tell us about who's Barney Davies. Or Davies.
Davies, yeah. The Welsh heritage coming through. So, I mean, where do I sort of start? I used to play a lot of rugby. It was my first sport that I ever loved. From the age of like 3 years old, I wanted to go professional. I remember speaking to my mum about it when I was like 3 or 4, saying that I wanted to play for England, and my mum was like, picture yourself one day walking out of Twickenham, and I was like, yeah.
She done the manifestation.
Exactly what I was going to say. Your mum
You know what's crazy?
She was ahead of our time, maybe.
When you were 3 or 4, like that's when Johnny Wilkinson was slapping over the win in the World Cup.
That's exactly
I was 17.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That is who inspired me as well.
That
was
a
huge moment. He was my inspiration. I don't remember the drop goal.
No.
But I grew up
Didn't
with
teach that
Johnny.
rugby tots at the time. They're just trying to get you to pay attention, yeah.
Apparently not. I don't think I could drop goal at that point anyway. But so my mum manifested it for me, and I don't think I was ever going to go to a point where I was going to go fully professional, but yeah, if I got paid to play, that was sort of my goal, and take it as far as I could, you know.
I think a lot of people underestimate that. If you get paid to do anything that you love and you're theoretically not working, you're just loving what you do, you've already won.
That's it. I completely agree. And that was my goal.
Well, I think the system is the doors just keep opening until they stop. Right? And that you kind of find your level. I would argue that it gets a little bit political, and that some people have like their favourites that get selected for the sort of South England, all that stuff. But largely speaking, hopefully talent will out. You'll get picked up over the course of enough games. And if the door keeps going opening, they sort of go, Barney, let's have you play for this team. You just kind of keep going until...
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think, I mean, there's always going to be an element of the private school sort of giving you the first sort of foothold.
Yeah.
Because it's rugby, it's a sort of private school sport, really.
Yeah.
Changing in a way. But I think you're right, though. If you are good enough, you do get seen eventually. Yeah. And that's sort of what happened for me. As I was growing up, I didn't really have the same opportunities as most. I was a state school kid, like most of my education. I think I had like 2 years at private school when I was very young, so it didn't really affect my sporting career. And then, I didn't have much opportunity, but then got to university, and there was all these private school kids and guys that had been in the academies and had everything sort of handed to them, more or less. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they've worked for it. But that's when I sort of started to get a bit of a foothold and started to play good rugby or get seen by the right coaches and managed to get to the right platforms. And that's when I started getting better at rugby and becoming a player.
Mm-hmm. What position did you play?
I was a 12, but I was a 10 growing up.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like the thing that happens with rugby is like that big puberty divide. You kind of go up, and some people just turn into Supermen, and you're like, okay, well, you're going to have a different position until I catch up. And then you're like, I remember at 17, I played a lot, but I was like 60 kilograms or something, and your injury load is huge. And then the next season, I was like 73, and it was just night and day. But then you kind of find your place, don't you? But
yeah, definitely. I mean, that was the same for me. I don't think I hit puberty till I was about 17. It didn't happen for me. I'm just stood there. I was playing, and all these guys are fully grown men, and but then I always knew, funnily enough, that I'd catch up. Yeah, and you do. It's fairly obvious that.
But is it because your dad perhaps was quite big, or family members?
No, I just knew one day I was going to obviously have to turn into a man. So
I like that. Some confidence there, so I like that.
Well, it's the human. It's natural, isn't it? You're going to hit puberty. So
I mean, some people start cresting down the wave by their early 20s. Like they've lost their hair, they've had the beard for 7 years already, and you're like, okay, you've had your fun at school. You're on the way out.
Peaked at high school.
Imagine
I'd like to think I peaked at university, maybe. But
so you were in and amongst that group, and I totally agree with you. Once you're like in that osmotic environment, you tend to meet the level or you don't, but you tend to, if you're good enough, you tend to suddenly be really happily placed amongst like a far more challenging.
Yeah, I think certainly for me, I think I used to just learn off the people around me quite well, and so once I was thrown into that environment with players that had been in these academies, I sort of found myself learning what they'd learned over 4 or 5 years. I learned quite quickly because you sort of have to, otherwise, sink or swim.
Yeah.
So I was quite lucky in that regard. I think my way of learning suited that environment.
Who would you model your play on if you had a player that you kind of thought?
That's a tough one. I think maybe a slow Hugh Jones.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You're quite humble.
Very humble.
Very humble.
Well, I don't know. He's got that turn of pace that I don't think I had, but physicality wise, I definitely had
I'm sure you could have got it though.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. He did score a pretty good try on the Lions recently.
Tell us what happened at university that led to you having a concussion.
We've gone off a bit of a tangent on my rugby career, haven't we? But so I was at university, and I think it was 2021. I'd done my first year, got into sort of the first team setup, and then my second year was mostly interrupted by COVID. So I was quite frustrated, wanting to get back and play in rugby, and came back in that following summer, 2021 summer. Was playing a few sevens tournaments, managed to get a couple bangs to the head, but I didn't really think anything of it because you don't, as a rugby player, you just get a bit of
normal, isn't it?
Yeah, you get knocked to the head, and you see some symptoms, but you're always able to shrug it off.
What are the symptoms? I never had a concussion before, so.
There's a number of them. So if you're getting headaches, that's a pretty usual one.
Okay.
So just a standard headache, but then you can get like brain fog, feeling a bit slowed down, feeling like you're not in the room, tinnitus, memory problems, dizziness, trying to remember all of them.
Get vomiting sometimes. I say to Adam for
I mean, if you got hit on the head and you black out, that's you're definitely concussed.
Yeah, I think Ed said that you went through that, right?
Yeah,
you blacked out.
Yeah. So that's a knockout. But
I had a couple of things. One, I hit the back of my head, and that one I remember I just couldn't see out of my left eye for about an hour and a half, and then started vomiting.
That's mental.
And I was like, I was only about 9 at the time, but then there was one where it was just a straight knockout on the pitch. I just got hospital passed. The old pancake head on the ground where your head slaps the ground and you just go lights out.
Yeah.
And another one was on Stag Do where I woke up in Portuguese A&E and it hit my head on the pavement.
Wow.
And that one was bad because I remember.
This is why you're so different, you know.
That all makes sense.
This one, I didn't even know what happened. I remember going back to the apartment, leaning over, and it was like water ran out of my nose, and I was like, okay. And we come back from the hospital, and I wasn't thinking about it, but there is potential for that to be like a basal skull fracture, and that's cerebral spinal fluid potentially. But it just, I remember thinking it was the most sobering thing. I was like, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen because it was like a pipette of water swims. I was like, and then it happened 2 or 3 times. I was like,
something's
wrong. That's a leak, isn't it? That's scary.
It's scary. It was scary. The first time, maybe you have with your injury, right? It was like the first time I was like, this is too much. I don't ever want to experience that again.
How old was you?
What with that one? It was 2019.
Oh wow, recent. Around the corner.
It's very sobering, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when was the I suppose the one that made you stop playing rugby?
Yeah, so I got a couple of knocks, ignored it, then came back, and I played. I was trying to get back to pre-season, and I sort of had these symptoms, but I was ignoring it. And I didn't actually get a knock to the head. I just overdid it, and then my body just went into shock, and I couldn't shake the symptoms for months after that. I managed to recover, sort of luckily. Came back and played like back end of the following season. Played a few games, got a few knocks to the head, ignored it, but I wasn't really getting symptoms then, so it was okay. And then I came back again, had the summer off, got completely fine, did pre-season with Leeds Beckett, and I got knocked out twice in 3 games. Yeah, just playing through symptoms.
So you had the concussion scars that are similar to the American footballers?
Yeah, I'd say.
Proper?
Yeah, it's not advised.
Shit, so you almost had in MMA when somebody's chin goes and they just keep getting knocked out.
I think it was that. I think my brain just became so sensitive, or my system, the whole system became so sensitive.
The trauma was in, so anytime you got hit,
it's kind of interesting, right? Because it goes, if you're not going to defend yourself.
How was the effects? Like, what sort of? How did you know that you need to look after yourself now?
So through that pre-season, I got a very innocuous, very like slight graze of a hip to my temple as I went to tackle someone during training. And I just started to get a bit of light sensitivity and a bit of noise sensitivity. And then I started to find things quite overwhelming quite easily.
Okay.
And I started to have a few panic attacks, which I wasn't really prone to.
Yeah.
I was also captain at the time. I'd just been given the captaincy that year.
Pressures, right?
So I was like, it must be the pressure of being captain. That's why I'm getting these heart palpitations, not really able to sleep. But looking back, like I would have normally been able to handle that quite fine.
Did you tell anyone?
No. That's the thing. I was because of the captaincy. I felt
that man thing, right?
Yeah, the ego.
The ego. Yeah. We've had a lot of discussions around us men not really opening up.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you're right. Like you hear lots of discussions about kind of health things that are being sort of, surfaced and brought to light. But I think this is quite a dark part of the male experience of like injury load, full stop, breakages, life changing, like ACL tears or whatever from the age of 13 or something through to something really dark, which is, I think what we're finding out with concussion, and correct me if I'm wrong, is even if you're okay now, even if you're okay into your 20s, this could start surfacing in your 40s as like all the cumulative damage and so it just hides.
It's straight scar
and it's like all that shit you were doing in your teenage years through to your 20s is now surfacing.
Yeah,
right.
Well, that sort of comes into the scariest stuff, which is we know, or we haven't proven that motor neurons is linked to like head knocks, but it's fairly obvious. Your chances of getting motor neurons goes up if you play contact sport or any sport that's like mildly contact. So like football, you still got a chance heading the ball. Then you've got dementia and Alzheimer's. They're also, your chances go up. They're pretty minute. We can't prove it, but again, it's becoming fairly obvious. And then you've got CTE, which is,
that's the one. CTE.
We know that's without a doubt, your chances of getting CTE go up.
That's proven now, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yes, proven. But it's still, without being too political, it's sort of swept under the rug a little bit.
Yeah, it's an inconvenient truth, right? You need the troops out on the pitch earning the money and getting the sponsorship deals, and hopefully that seduces them enough not to think about their future.
Yeah.
So ultimately that led to depression for you?
So...
but I think we need to reverse back a little on when you sort of start to see the signs. It happened 3 times. You didn't share with anyone. But at which point did you feel like I need to maybe leave or exit this
I think
dream?
So I was, after that small knock in the pre-season, I was just fighting through the symptoms, the panic attacks and all that sort of stuff, the sensitivity to light and noise, and it was basically just constant migraine I had. And I just thought to myself, get through one game, like get what you've set out to do done, which is captain your university side. I was then on a scholarship, so that was my goal, get paid to play. So I was like, I've got to play one game.
Still chasing the dream.
Yeah, exactly. And so I played that one game, and with it literally the first 2 minutes of the game, got massive bang to the temple.
My goodness.
I was out for a couple of seconds. Got back up and I was like, everything was blue. And then it was full on daze, like typical cartoon tweeting birds around the head. That was me. And the physio couldn't really tell. I don't know if he could or couldn't. Wasn't qualified or was. Asked me a couple of questions like, what's the score? I could see the scoreboard in the background. So I was like, 3-0.
Winging it.
Where are we? And there's banners saying Nottingham all around. So
Winging it.
I think we're in Nottingham. I don't know. Anyway, so I got past that test, but I was fully
gone,
fully knocked out. And I think at that point I was like, right, I should probably stop playing full stop. But something inside me was just like, I don't want to stop. So I played the whole rest of the game. I think I made 16 tackles and 16 carries. which is like a lot for a centre.
Yeah.
Started playing phenomenal.
Yeah, I was like, no fear, didn't know where I was. Yeah. Eyes shut, running around.
Drop goaling everywhere.
Yeah. I'm Johnny, reincarnated. So that happened, and then the next game I tried to get through it, and then the third game, I think I was warming up, and my vision was so blurred, like I could barely see the ball coming at me when I was trying to catch it. It was all like I needed glasses, and I've got 20/20 vision, so that was fairly obviously not good. My reaction times were so slowed down, so people would sort of step inside me and I just wouldn't be able to react properly. And
I've got a question for you, actually, just within these points. What was your knowledge like on concussion when you was going through this process?
Great question.
Rubbish.
So you had
Really
no ideas, no real true ideas on it?
I knew it was a thing, and I knew it was bad, didn't know why it was bad. Okay. And that's why I started my page.
So and that's also why you continued to keep playing?
Yeah, because I didn't know about CTE, didn't know about motor neurons. I had no idea motor neurons was in any way going to be linked to...
So what did you think the problem was with you when you was going through it?
I knew it was concussion, but I just...
It's like 3 weeks, 3 weeks and come back, right? It's like you somehow just...
Oh, you didn't know how severe concussion
I didn't know
is.
the long-term effects, potential long-term effects. And I didn't know that if you get one and you've got symptoms and you hit your head again, your chances of symptoms fully going...
Yeah, I guess so much worse, the cumulative.
And it also takes so much longer.
So decrease back, you mean you could have the symptoms permanently for the rest of your life?
Yeah, potentially.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, so what happens with concussion is effectively what it is your brain has an energy deficit. So your brain cells get an energy deficit. So you get hit on the head, your brain sort of morphs and it stretches the brain cells, and certain things that you need in your brain cells leave, and your energy leaves the brain cell.
Mental.
And so your brain is then in this energy deficit, and that's what concussion is. It's an energy deficit.
So why you get so tired afterwards? I remember my heart rate went down to like low 40s and mid 30s at points when I was sleeping. I was just
They tell you not to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. I was so tired.
So new research says that you should.
Oh, you should.
Really?
As long as you know there's no bad stuff going on. As long as you've had the checks.
But you don't know.
Well, as long as you haven't got any of the big warning signs, and you've gone to see a doctor, just go see a doctor if you do.
Yeah, basically they're saying don't just go home and try to sleep off. Go see somebody, get checked, and then go sleep.
I knew someone that had concussion that they smashed their head on the sink, and then when they got up, this was at night time. They thought it was daytime. That concussion's mental because they're literally thinking it's daytime. And I thought, this is mad because it's fully night, it's dark.
Yeah.
And they're like, what time is it? Is it 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well, that's it. So that's the brain cells not being that don't have enough energy to then transmit memories or whatever's and taking the information.
Yeah.
So actually, what happens is when you hit your head, and when they say you see stars or you see different colours or you hear noises, whatever, that's your brain cells rapidly firing. So you hit your head, rapidly fire,
all the memories.
So it's just everything's firing. So when it shouldn't fire, so that's where the energy sort of deficit comes from.
It's interesting. I was reading about epileptic fits the other day, and it was talking about basically sort of asynchronous dispersions of energy in the brain, but like obviously in ways that are completely overloading it and then give you seizures, right? Because it's just. You don't really think about it as a sort of an electrical system, but of course that's what basically it is.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, that's what we are.
So when we talk about like replenishing it and the steps taking place, is that ultimately a completely passive process, and we've just got to hope that somehow it sort of re-architects itself, or is there an actual way of physically improving that?
So this is the big thing. This is why I started the page. This is what caused me to have symptoms for so long. The answer is that you need to proactively help yourself. So in the first 48 hours, sleep as much as you can. That is key.
After diagnosis,
make sure you've obviously been told, got a couple of scans if you need them, cleared by a doctor. Then just sleep for as long as you can. So I got one in January. I was skiing with some mates, and I fell off going quite quick.
this guy, you know.
Yeah.
He's always smashing his head.
What is going on?
How was you as a baby? Like?
I know, my goodness.
That's where it all started. But yeah, I don't want to live my life without doing fun stuff. I play cricket now, and there's definitely a risk of that ball hitting my head. But
chess for you.
Yeah.
Chess.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So I got a head knock, and I remember I got a check from one of my physios that I trusted from a rugby club at home, and she was like, "I think you're fine." Alongside my knowledge of it, I was like, "Okay, I'm probably okay," even though I felt awful.
Yeah.
So I just slept, and I ended up sleeping. I think it was for like 20 hours straight.
Wow.
Just slept, and that's the best I've recovered from any concussion.
So when you got up, you were like, you felt as brand new, or?
Oh no! I was still symptomatic, but it definitely helped a huge amount.
Right.
But post that 48 hours, the best thing you can do is actually start doing some form of exercise, very light exercise, so you can promote blood flow to the brain. So you want to get new blood in the brain, full of the right nutrients. So diet is vital in that first couple of weeks. You want to replenish your brain with the things it's lost. So calcium, potassium, magnesium, I believe, is the three major ones that you want to replenish as much as possible. Mm-hmm. That's sort of what, when you get that energy deficit, that's what's been messed around, is those three components. So you want to massively smash those in the first couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and basically eat a load of food that is BDNF boosting, so brain-derived nootropic factor boosting foods. Which are... I'll try and list a couple.
There's some fish in there, there's got to be.
So omega-3, 6, 9, so fatty acids, all that sort of stuff. So salmon, wild caught salmon, not
mackerel.
No,
go and catch yourself.
Mackerel,
mackerel, anything.
Not what?
Only fish.
What's the other one?
I saw a post recently. It's probably a bit of a conspiracy theory, but salmon that's not farm salmon's apparently terrible.
Apparently, it's full of germs, as in pesticides, parasites as well, full of parasites.
Shouldn't eat anyway.
I love smoked salmon, and it's just
farmed.
I just pick.
Ideally not.
I never just check. I just pick whatever.
It's
terrible. I'm going to be wicked. Yeah.
Basically, if it's orange, it's not right. It should be more red.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm full of parasites then.
But I mean, I've had so much salmon. I saw that post like a month
there's
ago,
a lot of stuff at the moment that you're like they're obviously talking about all the microplastics in like hot coffee cups and stuff.
Apparently it's cloned as well, actually. Salmons are cloned as well. It's one of the most cloned foods, actually, salmon.
Oh, wow.
So...
Jesus.
Yeah, maybe just stay away from it.
I just stopped eating anyway.
I did stop eating it, actually. Once I done the cloned one, I said, I'm happy not to discover and I'm happy not to have it. There's too much going on around it.
They get too creative.
But let's get you through the part that you then decided to... Like that, is that when you stopped?
Just quit.
That's when I was like, so I hit my head that game, then had a game in between, then my last game I hit my head again, and that's when I quit.
Wow. Yeah. And what happened on that game that made you think this is
quit,
it?
You know, you didn't quit. You retired.
I retired.
You didn't quit. You wasn't a quitter.
Yeah, I was forced to quit. But I basically took the ball into contact and I got shoulder to my chin.
Right.
And I was out for like, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 seconds, came back round and I was just placing the ball like that. And so I don't know how I've done that, being knocked out. Kept the ball in my hands. Yeah. But I get up and everything is blue and green.
It's a little bit like when Homer Simpson does boxing and he just takes as many punches to the head as he can to win.
Yeah, literally. And that's what I just thought I was being a hero, but looking back, it was the most stupid thing ever. But I was looking around the pitch and there was these white plastic barriers you get around football and rugby pitches. And I could just see these perfect green circles in these barriers that weren't there. It was just my vision doing it. And I was like, oh, maybe not. Yeah. So I think I knew before then, but that was it. That was then.
You're pretty unlucky. This is to get that many in a row.
I think he's pretty lucky, actually.
Very lucky, very lucky.
To have as much hits as that.
Yeah, I think I'm lucky not
and
to
still be here
dead.
today, functional.
Yeah, and healthy. And then, how were you after that decision? Because you wanted to be a rugby player since you were 3. Assuming you were about 19, that's 15 to 16 years of your life. Wanted to be something and trying to manifest it, and getting to a point that you're like, nature said no. How did that make you feel?
And making that decision yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty mature as well. Not mature, I think pretty brave, courageous.
I mean, thank you. I mean, yeah, it's something that I don't think I've fully got over yet.
Yeah.
But I've made a lot of inroads into how I feel about it, and I manage the feelings now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll replace it with things, but I'll never get over the fact that I can't play rugby ever again.
Can you speak to some of the emotions? I only say that not to misery harvest you, but for some of the people who may be facing the same thing, who go, I'm afraid to give up on that, I feel worthless, or whatever, the language that you use around it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's, for want of a better word, it sucks. But looking back, I'm so thankful I stopped when I stopped.
100%. I'm so thankful you stopped.
Thankful. Oh, man.
Apart from the ski slopes, still got...
yeah. And that was my fault as well.
This is why it's mental, because he's technically got to stop anything kind of extreme.
Yeah.
And
that's no life,
boys
is it?
like pushing the boat. We love pushing the boat.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah,
so I struggle with that element, but you can find things to replace that aren't gonna.
You can't even go karting.
Well, I mean, I can, and I probably will.
You can't go to try and win.
No,
just Sunday drivers.
It
must be a challenge.
It sucks.
But how did you actually cut the cord? Did you kind of say to your teammates, "I'm stopping playing," or did you kind of phase it out slowly? And
I just said that there and then. I walked off the pitch and I said to the bench, I'm retired.
There's nobody on it. They're like,
yeah.
Who are you talking to, Barney?
Piss off, mate.
We've all gone home.
Walking off on my own, talking to myself.
There was no one on the pitch.
Yeah. It's just me running around on my own. Made it all up. Oh God, yeah. I came off. Basically, it was such like a. What's the phrase? The new phrase. It's like you're the main character energy.
Main character.
I came off. I just thought main character. Like, I'm done, guys. I'm retired.
These times.
So yeah,
it was the world that retired him.
Yeah, but it was just like that was so big for me. So it was like anyway. And I had this water bottle in my hand. And I just lobbed it at the side of this. The sub bench, smashed the sub bench. Oh God. But
it's funny doing that. Like I did once after a rugby game. We lost really narrowly. It was against like was the one game we lost that season, and I just went to the change room, just punched a mirror. It shattered everywhere, and then the people from the school, it wasn't our school, came in and was like, "What just happened in here?" And you're like, I don't know why I just vandalised your property, but it feels better now. Oh yeah, I lied. I just was like, I slipped and like whatever hit. Well, you know,
yeah. Well, yeah. It's like that's what you do sport for. Is that level of like intensity it brings into your life.
Rugby's really intense playing from a young age. So you
can't match it.
No.
I say this about it because I played a lot as well. As it becomes like an embodied brain. You could stick me on the pitch and you feel the tension points, you feel where the patterns of play are starting to rhythm, and you're reading it. And like the more you do it, it's more like time slows down. So you get the ball, you spot the gap, and it's like it's like a flow like nothing I've experienced outside of doing it.
Yeah.
And I spent so much time doing it. I wasn't interested in school. I was interested enough, and I've not experienced anything like it since. Doesn't matter how much I apply my brain, because it's just one of those rare connections where you're thinking and you're feeling and you're doing, and it's pretty magical.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say is at 38, now going, I'm well into retirement age. You're now like, I'm really glad I'm not a professional sportsman, because it would be difficult.
I'll be honest with both of you. I wasn't interested. I played about twice, and I'm small. Well, I was small at school. When I got clattered once and saw the white light, I said, that's enough. Yeah. It's not for me. No, I'll be a footballer instead.
But I
had fun playing it,
until
I got that clatter, and I'm like, nah, this ain't football energy.
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah, talk to me about that, right? Because like that was always a big divide. I'm not that good at football, and so I didn't end up really deeply understanding it and kind of seeing what I'm watching for.
Football, yeah, because there's always that rugby football thing, right? Rugby, I played both. With rugby, I'm a fast runner. So with running, I loved it. Get the ball, I'm taking everybody on. Sick, I love that.
Yeah.
When I got that clatter, I'm like, this ain't for me. I'm not here for violence. And I think that's what it is with rugby. There's something in you guys that likes that head-to-head combat. It's almost like old school in the arena.
It's a little bit like Maximus.
Quite primitive. It's just
whereas football isn't.
But you also shouldn't, you know, like you shouldn't, you got to also know what you are and what you're not, right? And again, based on your size, you shouldn't be trying to take everything head on. Like you should, there are ways to set the other player up so he's off balance or he's coming at you at a different angle. You're not, if you just do the rutting stag thing, like you will shorten your career.
Your career.
So you can get somebody to show them the gap. They try and take it, and you're like, right, I'm swallowing that up on you. And you know your other teammate's going to come in. That guy's getting clattered.
I couldn't get over that. Like, I can't have 2-on-1. It's things like that for me that I couldn't get my head around.
Because you offer people the inside, right?
That's what I used to try and find was two people to bite on me.
Yeah,
try and break through and then get an offload.
This is what I'm saying. He's a madman. And this is why for me football is just different because I'm like I can ping a pass 90 yards, hit my mate, and he can just volley it, and I can just see it. So it was more picturesque.
Okay, so the synergy between you and your teammate is reading what you know the patterns that they'll do. Yeah. And then you're just playing on. Yeah,
it's
that's
just picturesque. So it's all, and that's why they say it's a soft sport. That's what rugby and football. Football's soft,
but it's all
it is soft.
Well, it's just a different. It's just so different.
Yeah,
that's what
it's a different sport,
and you're looking for different things. But it's interesting you're saying about sort of that the hive mind sort of aspect. I feel like what you're trying to do with sport is you're trying to get yourself into that meditative state where it's just flow state.
Flow state.
And I can't find that with any other sport.
Yeah.
That I had with rugby. Apart from maybe in cricket where I'm batting and like I've got a job and I've got to get a certain amount of runs, do it for the team, and then you just find this flow state.
At cricket, you just don't get to have a lapse of concentration where you're like, he's running at me, he's about to bowl the ball, my brain can't be anywhere else because I'm about to get like...
Yeah.
Here's one for you though. Can you get flow state or have you felt the flow state outside of sport?
I bet going too fast at skiing you will do. When you're just going far too fast and you're like, I'm on the edge of...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was...
That's just the adrenaline, right?
Yeah, that's just like the whole tunnel vision you got.
But I didn't feel like flow state. I think for me, the flow state was, like you're saying, being part of a bigger thing.
It's like an organism.
Yeah, literally. And you're playing this big game of chess with like...
It's like a game of chess,
15 blokes. Yeah. Everyone's smashing the shit out of each other.
Wow.
And you're still this game of chess going on, and it's just like this, being able to be in that state where you're maintaining that physical, like,
but it's different when you're a captain as well.
I like that analogy. It's intelligence and physicality.
It is. It's not this thing that people think it is of just like smash each other up. Like,
but when I watch it, obviously just men just...
No, it's not. It's pressure patterns. It's all pressure patterns. And football's pressure patterns as well. If you had a heat map of where the pressure's starting to build, and because otherwise, if you're watching 17 phases of rugby, you'll go, what are they doing? It's grinding away. It's like, it's maths at this point in time. You're like, how many people we suck in? Where's the pressure pattern coming? Where's the fatigue coming in?
Absolutely.
I captain the team a bunch, and that's annoying as shit because suddenly you're having to step out of your game that you love as this organism to suddenly be this sort of orchestrator.
Yeah.
And then you slightly lose the direct love for it because you're having to think about everybody else's.
Yeah. Only certain people can do it. That's why you don't have any certain characters that are able to take on that role of captaincy, because you then suddenly you're not just one part of this organism, if you like. You're then taken away from that, and then you're more in control than perhaps you want to be.
Yeah.
Did you feel any guilt when you had to tell them that you...
Yeah, massively. Massively.
Yeah.
And then also trying to heal myself while staying involved.
Yeah.
Which I guess could be depressing anyway. You might have had physical depression.
It was awful.
As well as the associated mental depression, as in like you literally symptomatic because of the bang on the head.
Yeah. So all of it, like the depression of having symptoms and that not going away, not knowing how to treat them, the uncertainty of how long it's going to last, then stepping away from the captaincy that I so badly wanted and was so proud of, and then also sort of being stepping away from the team and not really being involved in the team anymore. Like, it's so bizarre when you're not playing, even though these are like some of my best mates I've ever had, they start to not see you the same way. You're suddenly not
part of
that guy anymore.
You're not one of us.
Yeah, and you're not going through, one of the guys I used to play with, like going through the trenches together. You know, like, it's such a stupid analogy, but you're in the trenches. So and it's like
so you felt excluded going through.
Yeah.
Isolated.
Isolated. Yeah, that's a really good word, I suppose.
Did you do therapy?
Yeah, I've gone through therapy in a number of different sort of formats, really, to sort of process it. At the time, I was just standard therapy, and then I got hypnotherapy for it, which is a massive help for concussion as well, which is really cool. And then psychotherapy more recently, actually, just to sort of process it again.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
Psychotherapies.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How do you feel post all the therapy you've taken so far?
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
I think they target different things. So that the standard sort of counselling therapy that I had to start with was just trying to get me through day to day, sort of process some of the feelings I was having, and sort of give yourself a couple of tasks throughout the day to get yourself going, and just put one foot in front of the other. Hypnotherapy allows you to access some of like the trauma you've had, and it's more like to try and fix the like PTSD side of things, which is, you know, for 9 months after the last head knock, I thought I was going to die every time I went to bed. Like, I didn't think I was going to wake up in the morning.
That's wild.
So you gain a lot of trauma from that. Your body's constantly on edge. You're stuck in fight or flight. And hypnotherapy allows you to sort of get through that a little bit, because I don't know if any of you have had hypnotherapy.
Never.
No.
So it sounds like mumbo jumbo, but you're basically the therapist is trying to put you into like a hypnosis state, a bit like that flow state we were talking about, where you're doing, but you're not thinking. So the way you do that is you just sort of imagine you're in a happy place or whatever, and you take yourself there, and then she'll be talking to your subconscious at the same time, he or she.
Are your eyes closed?
Yeah. So your eyes are closed. It's really weird. So I did it all over Zoom, and she'd put me into the meditative state or the flow state, however you want to phrase it, and I'd be eyes closed for like half an hour, 40 minutes sometimes, and she'd go, "Oh, you're back in the room now." I wouldn't have been to sleep, because if I was asleep, like I'm such a deep sleeper, you wouldn't be able to get me back without nudging me, and I'd just come back, and it would feel like it'd been 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So it's so weird.
It's almost like a guided meditation.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
but with sort of like a physical lock-in in terms of like you just have that. Yeah, as you say, your guided meditation, and it's hooked you in such that your brain's
shuts down. The conscious brain shuts down. Subconscious is still awake.
And that's what she's talking to. And
is it hard to initially get to that state?
What to trust? If you don't trust it, then
it never happens.
But like my mum is very spiritual, and very trusting.
Experimental.
She manifests this. Manifested it.
Yeah, experimental, trusting in all these sort of more niche things. Loves like ancient Chinese medicine, all that sort of stuff, which is cool. Which I, as a result, I'm way more open to than I think most people would be.
Does she believe in stones and healing?
She does. She loves all of it. Anything that's niche and against the status quo.
Can I ask?
Loves it.
We've had a couple of references to your mum. Is your dad been part of this journey either or?
Yeah, he's definitely been there.
Does he have a view? Because I only say that because it's sort of the male lineage down of how you're sort of meant to deal with it, and then you kind of think, I'm siding with mummy. It's just like, for fuck's sake.
I've lost my son.
Have you felt any pressure like that? Has he been good about kind of?
No, he's been brilliant. He just he played rugby for all his life, basically all his life as well. So he was sort of what got me into rugby.
Yeah,
I think the only way that he's possibly negatively impact the situation would be me wanting to play because of him.
Yeah.
But that's not his fault, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been there for me, and he's helped me, at times where I needed a bit of financial support because I couldn't work, because I was going through what I was going through, the therapy stuff while I was at uni, because I couldn't really get a job at that point. Yeah, he helped me loads through that. So
How did he take the fact that you didn't tell him that you was going through what he's going through all of those times? Because that must have been hard. Now you've got a son.
I think
you've got an older son, don't you? So
I think he was upset. I as naturally you would be, but I wasn't telling anyone because you just want to just try and get through it yourself. Yeah. You don't want to burden other people, and also didn't want to scare them. Like some of the symptoms I was having, I didn't want to tell them.
Well, and yourself, right? As soon as you say it to somebody else, it kind of almost makes it more real than just like, the classic guy thing is like, it'll shake off.
Do you know what advice would you give to people that are going through something like that?
Get help ASAP. Just talk about it to someone, just because then you can, as soon as you talk to someone about it, then they understand what you're going through, then they can start looking for the help, because the help's quite hard to find. Yeah. Again, why I started the page, I want to give people the advice that it's not easy to find.
Yeah, so what does that look like? The page is up, you set that up at some point in the journey, and who's on it? How have they found it? What's the community doing now? What are you going to continue doing?
So I started it a year and a half ago, probably a year and a quarter ago now. And initially it was literally just want to tell my story to help whoever I could help, by just giving that, I don't know, what's the word? Feeling that someone else has gone through it and got through it.
Yeah. Lived experience.
Yeah, lived experience, and give people hope where I didn't have hope. So that was the idea. Fast forward to now, I mean, I've gone through a whole load of changes of perspective on it, but I was doing presentations, I designed a presentation I could take into schools and take to rugby clubs. Got a bit of a hand in the face for that one, which was quite tough to take, but unless you're accredited, I can't say that word, but accredited, then schools or rugby clubs aren't really interested. You're talking about concussion, it's quite a serious thing. So
science is a bit of opinion.
Yeah, so I did a couple of talks, and I realised that I'd love to keep doing that, but there's no financial gain for me there, so I wouldn't be able to maintain it without getting another job. So then I changed to actually doing specific concussion recovery stuff and actually helping people one-to-one. And that's where I'm at now. So now I've currently got 5 clients that I've helped over the last 4 or 5 months.
We need to find a way to factor that back in so you can help the community, because I think that's important, especially the younger lot. There has to be a way to factor it back in.
Well, that's what I want to do eventually. I think when my name's a bit more established in the concussion world, let's say, then that's what I want to long term. I want to change the outlook on concussion. I want to be able to give people all the knowledge that I didn't have growing up, because I had a number of concussions throughout my age group years that just flew under the radar.
Yeah.
You've definitely hit your head a few times.
Oh, I've hit my head so many times. Yeah. Like genuinely, I can't count.
Feel that, like, what would be the ideal journey for you in the next 5 years, given what you're doing at the moment? What's the next goal? What do you want to manifest going forward?
I think so. At the moment, I'm building a website, and it's basically an educational course. So talks about what concussion is, what post-concussion syndrome is, and then all of the ways that I know and all my research suggests you can heal from concussion or post-concussion syndrome, and just sort of lay it out in a layman's terms course. So it's easy to understand. People can just go on there and go through the course at their own pace, whether they're struggling or someone else is struggling that they know. So I want to launch that, get that out there, get as many people on there as possible. Keep going with the one-to-one support, so building holistic programs for people where I sort of take on board what their diagnosis is. So I allow doctors and stuff to diagnose them, and then I'll try and give them advice off the back of that, using my research and my own experience, and then do one-to-ones with them, build that, and then eventually I'd love to be able to do the presentations, do podcasts like this, talk about it, get it out there. And
it's so on like, I don't hate the word on brand at the moment, but it's obviously a conversation that's being surfaced in quite a serious way.
Yeah.
Do you think, because I feel like what you're saying is people watch out, stay on top of it, and if you do encounter it, heal it, rather than I'm unsure where everybody's going with it. Is it going to be regulated out of games to the point where we just have to soften the rule sets? And I don't know where people are going to go with it. Or, Anna spoke to a company that they've got headgear that
yeah, he's part of it as well.
Are you?
Yeah, Dynamotech.
Dynamotech,
yeah.
Well, that's super. And we should talk about that for a second if you want to.
Yeah. So I know from Simone that you want to help so much because you're so passionate about it as well. But I was actually I discuss that with Simone quite often. Is it do you think the law will start to regulate it, like as Ed just stated, to the point that they're going to phase kids out of it because concussion starts really early? And I know that Simone is so passionate, and his life revolves around awareness and getting children to be monitored, and that's what the devices are there for, to ensure that you're monitored, and as soon as you can see, you can sort of detect there's any concussion, but that will impact the sports in itself, right? And imagine a parent that sees that their child having a concussion once or twice, they probably think, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Whether they're 3 or they're 5 or they're 10, that stops them. The journey, doesn't matter how much you love it, that journey will probably stop so quickly. So how do we counter it? How can we play the sports? How can we have the love without
allow people to be warriors, but without kind of cotton?
So it's the $1 million question at the moment. I think within all contact sports. Don't care. I mean, you look at like boxing. I feel like if you sign up for boxing, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Absolutely.
With rugby, there is a way of protecting yourself. You've got proper tackle technique. If you don't fly into people with your head first,
that's true.
Chances are you're not going to hit your head as much.
You can nurture the youngers not to do tackles.
That's it. I think starting
but will
later
that change the nature of sports and what gives it?
I think starting later wouldn't affect it. I think if you started learning how to tackle at 12 years old, you're still going to... I mean, I learned how to tackle... The better way of saying it is I was still learning skills within rugby that are changing your muscle memory at the age of 21 and learning it quite quick. If you do it every day, you will learn it quite quick.
And the mechanics of it will keep changing during your growth years as well. How you tackle at 11 versus when you're a fully fledged man will be very different. And different skill levels as well, the kind of angles people will be cutting. One of the best things I did ever was my mum randomly threw me into judo from like age 5 till 9, and your awareness of your body position then it's so much better, and that did help in terms of, just as you say, like you're not going into like taking on angles where you're just head first, you're kind of off to the side, or you've got an intention behind.
You learn that mechanics of your own body, don't you? Which is very interesting. When you can learn that, that's...
It aids.
That's interesting, right? Because you could then wrap it in a proactive wrapper where you're not kind of saying, I'm going to have to wait for you to get injured. It's saying like, and it's for the best for the teams anyway.
Nobody much as you can.
You don't have kids here, but I'm sure you probably will. Do you want to have kids one day?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that you're going to get your kids into rugby or any contact sports?
That's a good question.
It's a tough question. I think it'd probably be down to the missus at the time as well. But I don't know.
Having an experience where you have experience in your journey.
I feel like I'd be able to coach them well enough to give them the right tackle technique and put them in the best
position to do it.
Can you stop them if they really want to?
That's it. I think if you love doing it. I wouldn't change anything I did apart from my last probably year where I was just being an idiot, obviously.
What, by staying?
Yeah. But if I'd stopped and recovered properly after the first one I told you about, then I'd probably still be playing now.
Or you might not.
You don't know. You don't know.
Today.
Or
you
not.
Might have got turned
you don't know, because you could have had a couple more serious ones.
It's so difficult though, isn't it? Because the stories of sporting excellence and greatness is so often linked with something that's kind of pushed people beyond their limits, whether it's a F1 driver who dies, or whether it's a boxer, like Muhammad Ali, who ends up, with Parkinson's and serious brain damage for all intents and purposes, or people who take performance-enhancing drugs, of which there's lots. But it's like we always have this uncomfortable reality that greatness seems to be stapled to extremes, and I don't know how we reconcile that, because as you say, if a kid wants to be great, how can we tell them?
You can't.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I think greatness, once it's there within that being, it will do its thing. You can't stop it. There's nothing no one can do.
I think it's self-sacrifice, isn't it? Or it's sacrifice of some kind. And you have to give.
And it won't be intentional. It will just be happening for them. That's their greatness. They're just pushing through.
Is it getting worse now? Players are getting, over the last 20 years, have got a lot bigger.
Yeah, I mean, the physical element is massive. So everyone's gotten quicker, stronger, and heavier. Yeah. So
some rugby players are like 148 kilograms. Like
and running quick as well.
And running quite quick. Over the course of 20 metres, like they're running quick. So, because I always think that with boxing, I'm like...
Science.
But like physics. But like boxing, you're very clearly getting punched in the head, and I always think like, how are they not like all over the place? Like it's just literally in your head. Obviously, body as well. But
to be fair, they don't. So what's changed in boxing is the technical ability. So a lot of it's gloves that are being hit. So the blocking's different. Yeah. So it appears like they're being hit more, but
because you watch Canelo like thumping somebody in the head, and you're like, that guy's just taking blows. Even if he's glancing them, it's still hitting the head.
Yeah,
like,
there is going to be impact, but it's minimising.
Yeah,
and that's ultimately.
And maybe the impacts are not the same as you say. Maybe when somebody's got 20 meters up to full speed, and now they're hitting you with their shoulder point at 100, they're 130 kilograms.
Yeah, definitely, it's definitely a bigger hit, more velocity involved. Yeah. When someone's sprinting at you and you're sprinting at them.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is with boxing, so they say there's less concussions because you're ready. Yeah. So you're like this, you're fixed like this, you're tensed up. So your muscles and your frame will absorb quite a lot of the hit.
Yeah.
When rugby, if you're like,
you can see the impact. Basically.
Yeah, and if you're ready for it, then you can brace and you'll be able to take more, and so less force will go through your actual brain. With rugby, like sometimes you'll get caught blindsided. I'm sure you've had it where you're defending and someone cuts a line and you've just got to go, and you're not tense, you're not ready.
It's horrible.
And so then you get more of a whiplash effect. So then that has more of an effect on the brain.
And especially them ones where you have to give yourself away. You can see it coming.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do, and you've got to give yourself away and wait for the impact.
Yeah. It's like James Haskell says, "I love you, Mum. Just dive your head in."
Yeah. You see it. It's like even if you're doing something sensible, you may have to, because it's a classic, isn't it? In any fight sport or rugby, it's just like somebody who looks like a grizzled old veteran who will leave it all on the line. That person doesn't give a shit. Everything, their reputation, their ego, their whole reason to be is to be like the hardest guy on the pitch. And so you may go, I'm trying to like think about this more. He's just go, bang.
Well, funnily enough, growing up was like, I want to look like that when I'm 35.
Grizzled.
I want to be the guy who's just mashed up face, cauliflower ears.
What do you mean? Sorry.
Because that's your battle scars, and it's like, you prove you've done it.
You look handsome.
Well, thanks.
That's true.
I've actually got a cauliflower, a minor cauliflower. got out quite while I was ahead and managed to stop this one growing.
Battle scars do not have to appear physical and in your face. Yours are hidden.
Yours are under.
Broke my nose a number of times as well. Can't really use my nose. So.
Well, thank you very much for your time today.
That's all right. No, it was a pleasure.
Beautiful. Where can people find you? That's your camera right there.
The _concussion _journey on Instagram, and then I'll be building websites and stuff in the near future, so it'll be all linked to that.
Fantastic.
Unreal. I enjoyed that.
You're up.
If you enjoyed, please like, share and subscribe for more conversations. Thank you.